This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
It is Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie. It's your Wednesday podcast. Today we're talking about panic attacks. What's the Lizzo song, Tom? Kick it off.
Girl, I'm about to have a panic attack.
That's exactly what we're
Stay
talking
out
about.
of it, Whipper.
Tommy had a panic attack once. He was at a bus stop. The police arrived, which was good, and sort of calmed him down, but should never have been doing that in public.
You know where I had a panic?
Whereabouts?
At the disco.
Ay, caramba.
Yeah.
What's the I write sins, not tragedies?
We shouldn't make light of it. I think it's very brave of you to share.
No, well, it was. I was freaking out. I had two voices on my shoulder. One saying, "Look, tough it up, get through this." The other one saying,
Why am I wearing that hat?
"Yeah, why am I doing this with Whipper? It's not enough money." And do a
you get
run
paid for
run
it?
away from him once again. No, it was full on. You'll hear it in the podcast.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
What about this one? What would you do if you found out that your wife had a bit of a side hustle? 13 24 10, love to know what your side hustle is, because there's so many people with a little something on the side. Yeah, I've got my job, but here's what I really want to be doing. That's what a side hustle is. I want to play this audio here because this guy, Joe Smith, he is a NBA player, and he's had a bit of a run-in with his wife. What you're about to hear is the audio of when he finds out that she has fired up an OnlyFans account and it's making a couple of dollars.
I'm telling you, that's up.
Listen, it's not up. I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course I'm mad at you just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you my choice, my body, my
I'm
choice?
your partner, you're supposed to come to me and talk to
Joe,
me.
I've been talking to you about mad things. I've been asking for solutions. You're not giving me none, so I created one.
My body, my choice.
Oh gosh, that's not good in a relationship, I suppose.
No, my concern would be there's a whole lot of guys just staring at you on a screen when that sort of stuff is kept private for me.
I wonder if BJ would get angry if I started an OnlyFans page, just with myself.
She'd be surprised. I mean, she hasn't seen it. And then the next thing you know, you're doing a bit of leapfrog and some squat and poof.
I mean, it's a little bit different than your partner starting up a lemonade stand that you don't know about, isn't it?
I mean, if you're doing a little bookstall on a Sunday, then that's fine. I mean, Tommy, it was a couple of Easters ago where Inga, your wife...
Inga.
Oh,
Yeah.
Inga, is it?
That's okay.
She said, I'd do OnlyFans if you couldn't see my face.
Yeah.
Which was surprising because she's got that tattoo of Tommy Boy written on her inner thigh.
Yeah, which is obviously one of her many tats.
That would give it away.
Well, no, was she again? You can blur things out now with the computer and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I was very surprised. And I think she's still open to the idea of OnlyFans, just as a little, bit on the side, bit of cash coming
wouldn't
in.
it be amazing if there was a photo of Inga and the only thing that revealed it was just your head in the background?
Oh, yeah.
Her face is all blurred out. You can't tell it's her, but then you just see this
What
guy
about-
just behind
Pop
her
my head in the door.
with a
What are you up
tequila
to?
lemonade.
What about your head, her body, Tom? I'd watch that.
Oh, it's
Now
a good
there's a
TV
website.
Good TV show.
Cherie and Cogra, what's your side hustle, Cherie?
I'm a foodie.
foodie.
What do you do, Cherie?
So I've got an Instagram page, What's Yummy for My Tummy. So I've obviously spent a lot of money to obtain my page, but I do get collaborations from restaurants and cafes. So my partner gets a free date night.
So I am not following what's yummy for my tummy.
Oh, my
Come
God.
on.
Look at this. Tommy's just brought it up. That's the seafood basket,
Oh,
isn't it, Tommy?
you went to Bell's Hot Chicken not long ago, it seems, Cherie, and did a review there, and lots of places all over Sydney.
Do they look after you, Cherie, or do you get a lot of knockbacks? Like, we don't need you here.
No, my partner actually gets a little embarrassed because when they find out that I'm an influencer, they keep coming out, is everything okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
I mean, are you an influencer A or B?
What's great is that you're celebrating different days as well. I mean, you're having a beer. Oh, you've got D's Nuts, Mr. Beast. Man, my kids are into damn Crunch Bar.
What's the best thing that you've been given, Cherie? As with your side hustle, who's looked after you the most?
I went to the shed at Birkenhead Point, and me and my partner could not finish all the food they brought out for
Oh,
us.
you're kidding me.
That's awesome. And then, I mean, do you give bad reviews, Cherie, if it's not that good?
Yeah, you know, if the service isn't bad, I try not to badmouth, you know, businesses.
Yeah,
but,
fair.
you know, if the service is bad, then obviously I will say something because it is my page.
Cherie, what I'm excited about too, it looks like you're not just doing food. There's a couple of cocktails on here, and it looks like you've had 3 margaritas. if you know what I mean, Cherie.
Cherie, this is a great little... Did your husband get angry with it, or he loves it?
No, he loves it.
Yeah.
He absolutely loves it. He encourages it. He's spent a lot of money, you know, obviously taking me to places to post about too.
Yeah. Have you got a... and I know you review a lot of other restaurants, but do you do a bit of cooking at home yourself, Cherie?
Yes, I do.
Would you like a Dutch oven?
Huh?
No, I've got a Dutch oven here by Ironclad. Ironclad Pan Company. It is an amazing slow cooker. It's a Dutch oven and it's coming your way, Cherie. It's all yours.
Great.
Got yourself... Get that on the Instagram, you influencer. Cherie, I love your garlic bread, Cherie. You've nailed it.
Yeah, how good's garlic bread?
My
Thanks,
God.
Cherie.
Bye, Cherie.
If you've been waiting to skip school holiday crowds for your next trip, now's your chance.
Take a sneaky weekender with whatif.com.
Just imagine all those empty beaches.
Book accommodation and more on the What If app.
What if it's Aussie for travel? I had a panic attack yesterday, and it was quite large. I've never had anyone. I've been nervous before talking in front of people, but yesterday it was magnified. It was the Australian Hotels Association New South Wales Awards, and it's a great day. We hosted it last year. Whip.
Yep.
It's a brilliant day out. It was at Randwick Racecourse. Would have been about 1,200 people there, Kate. So we're getting ready for it, and we've got the rundown, and there's 48 awards that you've got to get through. It's a big day.
What kind of awards are they handing out?
Best steak sandwich.
Yeah, a best
Hotelier of the year.
Yeah, best metropolitan hotel, best regional hotel.
Oh,
Like,
lovely.
it's pretty-
And during the day.
Yes,
And
yes.
you've done it before.
It's a great event. Really good event.
Who dominated? Tattersalls in Armidale.
Tattersalls.
So they got about 8.
Flying. Best burger, best steak sandwich.
The Laundry hotels did really well as well, so it was a great day. But beforehand, Kate, I've always got a little bit nervous talking in front of crowds, right? And my heart rate will elevate, and I'll go, okay, just if I'm prepared, I'm okay. We had a few jokes up our sleeves at the start, but yesterday there was a moment where I grabbed Whip and I said to him, I'm having a panic attack. And Whip, I didn't tell you this, but on one shoulder I had a voice saying to me, toughen up. What are you doing? You've been through this before. On the other shoulder, I had another one going, leave Whip and just walk out of here and let him do it by himself.
So surprising, Fitz, because people would, and I think when you have any kind of job like this where you talk for a living, like that's what you do every morning, and you come in here and you seem super confident. You've always got something to offer, and you're great being you, you know. So it would be very surprising, I think, for anyone to think that you would not only be with Whipper, who you work with every day, about to do something that you've done before and that you kind of do on a daily basis. Then what was different about it, or why?
I don't know. There were moments where I was looking out into the crowd and looking at certain individuals, and I'm going, oh my God, that guy's going to slay me when I get on stage. I spoke to a mate of mine, Tim Fishwick. He was there as well. He was asking about the family. This was before we got up. And there was a moment, Kate, where he was asking me questions about the kids, and I couldn't answer him. And then that magnified it even more, going, what if I just
stop?
What if I stop up on stage and I can't talk?
I'll start talking.
Were you sweaty? Or
Oh,
what was your body doing?
I wasn't sweating. My heart rate was 183. So my heart was flying. I was pacing. Remember, Whip, I was pacing.
Yeah, I think simply you put too much pressure on yourself. I've never seen somebody more natural on a microphone as a public speaker than you. I think you're brilliant at it. But that maybe, knowing that you've had some success as a speaker before, maybe you put that pressure and expectation on it. But you were kind of like behind the scenes in the green room, you were doing a lot of talking to yourself, just running through what you were going to say. And then
overthinking.
And then we're behind the stage and Fitzy says, I think I'm having a panic attack. And I said, that's okay, mate. We're just going to get up. We're going to say that we hosted it last year. The people in the front row were picking on us. And don't overthink it.
You're not out there on your own.
We don't need to. We can't control what the audience is going to think.
What do you think? But what are you thinking? Because when it's funny you should say that, Whip, about you can't control what the other people are thinking. Because I know with me, if I ever have had moments like that in the past, I think the first time they started happening when I was doing, when I did It Takes Two, not that I want to go back there. Of course. But not for the singing part. No. When I did the first series, I was a contestant and I was teamed up with Troy Cassadaly. The second series, they teamed me up with Grant Denyer to host it. So to be the like the Sonia Kruger in the back, in the green room, like Dancing with the Stars, talking to people once they'd done their performance. And the fact that I had to... it was live at that point. It was live TV. And the fact that I was mic'd up and I had to go out there and remember a script, I'm thinking, I've been remembering scripts since I was 8 years old. What is so different about this? And you know what? Well, for me, and it continues to be like this sometimes, is that you're thinking about what you think everyone else is thinking. And firstly...
You've got to remove that.
Firstly, you can't control it.
No.
And secondly, more often than not, and probably 100% of the time, they're not thinking anything at all. It's made up. What you're thinking is untrue.
What you just said just makes me feel so much... That just elevates my heart rate and makes me feel so much more comfortable and better about it.
Oh, it does. Okay.
But at the time, when you're in that moment, and this is crazy because I think this is the most elevated one that I've had. If you've had a panic attack, 13 24 10, I'd love to hear you. In what situation was it? Was it before a wedding speech? Was it?
Maybe it was even walking down the aisle. I mean, what if... I sometimes look at the groom. I mean, I know it's nerve-wracking for the bride, but she's in the privacy of a car, arriving with Dad, perhaps having those final moments. When you're the groom, you're there with the guests, you're standing at the end of the aisle, like all eyes are on you. I do sometimes wish I could be a mind reader.
I had one on an aeroplane one time, and I remember it, I think, because I'd had a bit to drink the night before and I was flying from Melbourne back to Sydney.
Anxiety.
Yeah, and I don't like flying, which we know, and then I couldn't get out of my space, and I was like, how do I get off this thing? What do I do now? I need to talk to somebody. So I got out of my seat and I went and spoke to an air hostess and said, I'm just really uncomfortable. I'm really, really uncomfortable. And then she said, do you want to go and sit back down? I said, I can't sit back down. I can't. It's a horrible feeling.
Because I had the one voice in my head the whole time, was leave. You don't have to do this. You don't have to deal with this. Walk away and everything will be okay.
But isn't it funny?
And I'm going, shut up. Shut up. Who is this guy on my shoulder?
I'm glad you didn't tell me that. I would have started panicking. I think the thing is, too, when you look at people that you admire, especially that play these roles and are in the media, when someone's authentic to themselves, then you warm to them because you know they're comfortable in their own skin. And when you're authentic to yourself, then you can't go wrong. So for you to get up there and be Fitzy is exactly what you need to be.
And exactly what they require. Why you're there in the first place.
No
just
one's expecting
to be
anything else.
You.
It's funny, for anyone who was asking, we did get up on stage, we were introduced, and I sort of was a little bit nervous at the start, but as soon as I started talking into the mic, everything was elevated. I was fine. I was totally fine. I was up there with Whip, and everything was fine, but it was just that lead up to it.
Because it's the head noise.
It's the head noise.
That's not even true.
I think Lisa was speaking the other day and had to do a talk, and she said, what's your tip to public speaking? And I said, once you can break from the script and be yourself, then you start to win. Because you know that you can find yourself instead of the formality that you need to get through.
And you're talking from your heart.
And you can't forget that stuff. Whereas when you have to stick to a script, you're thinking, what if I forget that? What if I forget? Oh my God, I've forgotten it. Now I don't even know. I'm completely blank.
There might be people out there now having a panic attack, ringing a radio station to talk about panic attacks. And I understand that.
Now, that's intense.
We are here, your friends.
It's a safe place.
Yeah, what happened?
We will extend our arms and embrace you.
Don't panic. Edwina and Roselle, let's talk about the panic attacks and the worst place you've had one, Edwina.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good, Eddie.
That's good. I was actually heavily pregnant and on my way to work in my little Mini with a sunroof, and there was a storm, and I saw, it was pretty cool, from a distance around 100 metres ahead, I saw lightning hit those electrical insulators, those big glass discs they on the power pole. So that was 100 metres ahead, and I went, wow, that's amazing, crack fire and everything. I'm driving up, and it was peak hour. I'm driving up this road, and I get directly under it, and that disc that was hit by lightning actually struck my sunroof. So I didn't know at that time. I didn't know if it was lightning that hit the car or what happened. But the whole sunroof shattered, and I remember holding my belly, thinking, "Oh my God, what just happened? Did lightning hit me? Am I actually? Have I been electrocuted? I've got to go to work. What about the baby?" And I couldn't stop because I was in this line of traffic.
You were in shock, Edwina.
Honestly, I don't even remember how I got from that spot to work.
Yeah, so you got to work, you didn't pull over.
So you froze?
I couldn't. There was nowhere. I completely froze. I remember breathing really heavily, thinking, I'm going to have the baby because I was quite heavily pregnant. Yeah, it was just, and I don't remember anything after that except for when I got to work.
That's extraordinary. Thank you for sharing.
No side effects from the lightning or anything like that, Edwina? No, you just...
I don't know. Some could differ that, No, nothing. But I just bawled when I got to work. I think the emotions of being pregnant and the tears just... And I couldn't stop sobbing, and my boss was like, "Are you kidding?"
Edwina, thank you for sharing.
Well done. Let's go to Craig in Botany. You had a panic attack at a wedding, Craig.
Yeah, I was at my brother's wedding, and I lost my wedding speech about 10 minutes before the actual... I was meant to go up.
Oh,
and
Craig.
I just froze. And you know when your heart sinks to the bottom of your gut, and I was just... And I started sweating, and I didn't know what to do, and then I got up there and I was mumbling through. I was trying to... Because the speech I thought was exceptional.
Yeah, of course.
And I spent a lot of time going over it and stuff. And then I thought, oh, my God, what am I going to say?
Yeah.
I didn't know what to say when I got up there. I just went blank.
That's exactly how I was feeling yesterday. I was thinking, what if I can't talk and I've got nothing, and you've got 1,200 people laughing at you?
You've always got me, mate.
Craig, did you tell your brother before you went on stage? I've lost my speech. No.
He definitely would have freaked out and probably wouldn't have been, and it would have just probably made me even worse. So I just kept to myself when I went up there, and I was trying to remember what to say, and I was winging it. And then halfway through, I thought, you know what, just say what you need to say, or what you're feeling.
Talk from the heart.
You've known this guy all your life, so I just started winging it, and eventually sort of worked out okay. But oh my God, I just remember that sinking feeling. I just wanted the ground to swallow me up.
Yeah.
Well done, Craig.
Thanks, Craig.
Seema in North Ryde. Where did you have a panic attack, Seema?
Hi, I had a panic attack on a Virgin Blue flight. It was taking off from Perth to Adelaide, and as the plane got on the runway, I was feeling a bit, nervous and panicky. So I told the hostess, I'm not feeling so good. So she gave me some water, and then by the time the plane got on the runway, I thought, nah, I'm going to pass out here.
Oh my gosh.
It kind of felt like a heart attack. So I said to her, I think I'm having a heart attack or I'm going to pass out right now. So she goes, okay, you've got 30 seconds. You need to tell me whether we, abort or take off. So, as soon as the plane got onto the runway and was starting to accelerate, I said, can't do this. So she had to tell the pilot to abort. So everybody on the plane thought, okay, we're taking off. But the plane kind of accelerated and slowed down and then took a left.
And we had to get off the plane.
Yeah,
Seema, that's pretty intense.
And did you recover quite well and quickly after that?
I did, but I had to go to the doctors, and it turned out that the doctor had given me overdose of thyroid medication, so it was my thyroid hormone that was
that's a little bit different.
So at least sometimes an explanation is handy.
Well, I had Graves' disease as well, Seema, and your heart races on that. Oh,
Seema soon. She was out of there.
Seema.
Whole plane.
Oh, my gosh.
Seema
Good
later.
work.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
SAS last night. Tonight we find out who gets through to the end. Jesus, it was a big one last night. Who are we down to? Go on, Jess. Give me some SAS music.
Want to give me your number? Do you? Shut it out!
This is SAS Australia.
So big Timmy Robards is in there, the first ever Bachelor. Matty Mitchum, the diver, who won gold for Australia at the Olympics. We've got the diver who went down and saved all the Thai rescue.
Yes, Thai rescue.
Yeah. And then we've also got Abby Holmes. Abby's really tough.
Been killing it.
She's been on fire.
She is tough. If I was to be critical at all, and I've enjoyed watching the show, to Ant and his team of soldiers, back off my mate Tim Robards. Back off. Because he is not boring.
Tim.
I won't hear a word of it.
Well, last night they were asking what strengths he brings to the team, and he said, my intelligence. And there was a moment where all the staff went, what? What did you say? He said, intelligence, the way that I read, you give me instructions and then I go away and I deal with them.
Follow. Coachable.
This is the thing. It was like the final interrogation last night, so they got every one of the contestants in there one by one, and they had nothing on them. So this is an episode where they would have grabbed Ant. The producers would have gone, mate, I'm sorry, Ant, but can you just raise your voice and swear at them one last time?
There's so much of that going on, isn't there? Where you find one of them's yelling. The other day they were doing the challenge, Fitz, if you saw, where they were driving in a car through an explosion and then there were people coming out, you're under gunfire, what are you going to do? Yeah. One of them starts yelling, I think, at Tim Robart, stop the vehicle! Yeah. And so he stops the vehicle. What did you stop the vehicle for?
You told me
excuse for you to yell?
Yeah.
Stop yelling, mate.
The worst challenge is waiting for all the lighting guys to set up the shop. That's that. So you got to wait around for 3 hours in the freezing cold. No, sorry, guys, there's a plane going over. The sound's not right. Okay, so last night is the interrogation. Matty Mitchum's in there. And they've got nothing on Matty Mitchum. He's a tough little bugger.
And he's revealed a lot about his relationships. He's done all that gear. So
then Ant, out of nowhere, Ant goes, I hear that you sing around the camp. And I'm going, where is this going? Have a listen to this conversation.
We sing around camp.
I do stuff.
Sing us a song. Go on in.
Today I was singing drip, drop, splashing all around.
You think a Special Forces soldier sing drip, drop?
I'm not sure, Staff.
Take a guess.
Out on the battlefield?
Take a guess! Have a guess!
On the battlefield, no.
No!
We're under fire! Drip, drop,
back up!
Splashing all around.
Can I, Tommy, this is a suggestion. Okay. Is there any chance that we could get Matty Mitchum to record drip, drop, splashing all around with special guest Ant Middleton?
Ant Middleton.
What a duet.
Love that. What a collab.
That'd be great. I'd like to see Ant Middleton on Australia's Got Talent as one of the judges.
That is not entertainment! Boring! Where's your family? They should be embarrassed!
This is not a game. Just catchphrases.
Okay.
Constant catchphrases.
Next contestant on Australian Idol is Matty Mitchum.
Drip, drop, splashing all around.
Stop! You are not through to the next round!
I think you've done the work for Matty Mitchum. I don't think we need him to record it.
I feel like I'm in a pantomime, Tom.
You're behind.
Tommy, can you say cut?
It's a pantomime. We need you.
Tom, say cut so we can get out of this. All right, if you want more Ant Middleton, he's got his own podcast, guys, on the Nova Player. And good news, he talks on the podcast. He does not yell. You can grab it now on the Nova Player.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Get involved, guys, if you would like to tell us how bad your Halloween was. Well, Lisa and I got into bed last night after getting 3.
I'd be scared too.
Sugar-ridden
Don't make me
kids
do
into
it,
bed.
Whip.
Gosh. This is the scariest thing all night.
Oh, my gosh.
I went out as
What are you dressed as? No, I don't have anything on.
No, I went as a pair of Tom's underpants, and people were freaked. Now, Fitzy and I had been at this awards. We were just talking about the Australian Hotels Association. So I turned up sort of in a suit, and everybody thought I was a private banker with a new interest rate hike. So they were panicking. It was very scary.
Oh, good one.
Especially in Rose Bay.
Hang on a minute.
There's some huge lines taken out there.
Thank you, mate, as we get by month by month. You know what was interesting? I had a moment last night. The kids dressed up and they started moving around, but there's one house up the street from us, Kate, and they go all out. So they have a big sort of underground garage. So you go in there, there's a line up down the street. There would have been 100 people in the line. And then you go in there and there's actors actors in there. So there's clowns and there's hammers and there's things jumping out from the walls. And
they're not robots.
No,
they're actual actors.
Actual actors.
What, they've got like their own ghost train, have they?
It is like the ghost train. So you're steered along this path with glow-in-the-dark arrows on the ground, so you know where you're walking, and then boom,
jump in,
out
jump
of
on.
nowhere. So I'm holding Francesca, and I said to her before we went in, I said, darling, if you get scared in there, because we've lined up for half an hour, darling.
Half an hour?
Yeah.
It's not the Easter show.
No.
Gosh,
for this, what these people do, you make sure that you wait.
You have to pay?
No.
If you're lining up for half an hour at a house in Rose Bay, you're usually buying something that's illegal, I would say.
Let's move on from that.
I think they go to you. That's what I read in the paper.
So what happened was I said, you shut your eyes, darling, and just cuddle Daddy, and it'll be fine. All the scary clowns will go away. So the minute we get in there, the guy opens the door. He's wearing horns and his face is painted. He's also got 2 sleeve tattoos, which was not part of Halloween. So that scared her. And there's a snake and dagger on his forearm. So we go in there. All of a sudden, clown comes out with a big novelty hammer. Boom! Oh, man. She's in tears. And you know when your kid falls off their bike, and you go, just get back on. I'll tell you what, we're going to get back on the bike.
Yep.
And we're going to keep riding.
No, you can't.
So I said, honey...
Once they're freaked, mate.
Darling, you're going to be fine. Tears, screaming. And then we walk around the next corner. Boo. Another clown with another...
What were you expecting?
So... that was good.
Now you're halfway through it. It's not like you can get out now. You're right in
the train until Lisa walked up and screamed at me, which was the scarier part. What are you doing? Just take her outside. I go, no, I'm helping her through the Halloween process.
But it's all fun and games in the moment. But what was bedtime like when you tried to get a 3-year-old to bed?
She slept in Mummy's bed last night.
Did she?
Which was strange because she was too tormented from the
remember
experience.
when I was about 8 and Mum and Dad started watching The Exorcist. Remember Sunday nights were movie
Sunday
night?
night movie, yeah.
Right. 8:30 wasn't
And The
it?
Exorcist, and you know that music at the start, and I started screaming and crying, and Dad said, well, go to bed. Unfortunately, my bed is right next to the living room.
Oh, my God.
And Dad didn't turn it down.
No.
I heard everything, Kate. I heard her head turning around and her vomiting the whole time throughout the whole Exorcist movie, and it scarred me for ages. I couldn't sleep for months.
No, and you can't get that stuff out of your head.
Who did you go dressed as? I saw some great shots on the Daily Mail. Thank you also to the team that organised those photos. I sent the paparazzi after you.
Did you? That was the scariest thing of my night.
Got a guy following you with a long lens.
Doing something that would normally be illegal.
Well, I would argue that it is illegal.
Well, there's a discuss.
Please. What were you dressed as?
We just kind of painted our faces white and put overalls on and tried not to wear a costume that was overly sexualised, because I did see quite.
There was a bit of that, wasn't there?
Few of those. You know what I did see?
How
though?
hot's a scary mum? You know,
one of the streets. No, okay. My favourite costume was a tiny little kid who could barely walk, who had a spider outfit on.
Yeah.
So like attached to their arms, they've then got 6 other spiders' arms, and they're just like toddling up the street.
Awesome.
So fun, hilarious. I love the dressed up dogs. They're also my favourite.
Yeah, dogs are awesome.
The one
Devil
that I
dogs.
found the most bizarre / creepy, and I'm guessing I went matching with my daughter. Maybe he wanted to match with his son. It was a wrestling outfit, but there was a dad there in a like a unitard with his nipples exposed,
like Borat,
and like a gimp mask.
This was the paparazzi.
No, it was a Jaden. I know it's you.
Too young, too tall.
No,
was he that? Now that is
like
confronting.
like a wings.
Oh
yes.
Is there a wrestling character like that?
I think 11 a.m. on or 11 p.m. on a Saturday night, they usually come out, don't they, Tommy? They'll sort of come out of the.
When do you wear yours?
God, so with the nipple showing.
Yeah, and I just thought,
too much, mate.
I mean,
too much.
You know.
Do you know the other thing you need to do is you need to know when to call Halloween off at your house, because we did the lollies out the front, but we left the front door open because we had a couple of people there that we were wandering the streets with. Next thing you know, it's 6 o'clock at night, so we've done our bit, and I'm back at home, and I've turned the news on. I'm standing there. Some kid walks into the lounge room.
Oh no!
Hey, mate, who are you?
No. Do you know what my mum did?
Get out!
She chased someone up the street.
See you, mate.
Because this is the other question: how old is too old to be trick or treating? Because the younger kids come, and we had lollies sitting out the front of the house, and May and I went for a walk, but my mum stayed at the house to offer the treats. Right?
Yeah.
In an orange t-shirt, so so May said she looked like a pumpkin, and that was the level of effort she went to. But I had the front kind of office window open so we could hear people coming up the front stairs. Now, there was a group of young boys. There must have been about 14. And my mother, not one to, let people get away with anything, sometimes called the fun police, thought, I can hear older boys out the front there. They're going to take all those lollies. And she went down the front, and the boys, we'd had overflowing bowls of lollies. Yeah. They had just tipped the bowls of the lollies and then bolted up the street, and Mum had run down the front stairs to...
Trick. No, that's your trick. Got you a beauty.
Heather Ritchie last seen in an orange T-shirt chasing 14-year-old boys.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Gals got into a fight.
What has happened here?
I thought this was a joke. I read the headline, something about being pulled from a brawl.
I've just seen the footage.
Who would want to have a go at Paul Gallen?
You're an idiot.
Honestly.
Someone full of...
sauce.
Sauce.
Halloween sauce.
Well, I don't think Gal's a big drinker. So he's up at Shoalhaven Pub.
Down at Shoalhaven Pub?
Down at Shoalhaven Heads Hotel, and he was there with Mark Levy, and they were having a game of pool. It was over a game of pool. And I can understand Paul can get quite heated. At the end. Some people like to put money on the table as well. Let's play for money.
But it's not even about the pool, is it? I think when there's a fight that breaks out over a game of snooker or whatever, it's all about,
ego,
testosterone. Who's the guy that owns the table? No one does.
The fight's probably started before you even start playing pool.
Oh, it's not about pool.
Just a couple of things, though. Okay, 2 reasons here. Why would you want to fight Paul Gallen, New South Wales legend, right? He's done so much for this state at Origin, and he's bled for this state.
He's built like a brick.
Oh my God, one of the great houses.
That's the second one, Kate. Now there is vision. I'm going to play you some audio in a second, but he was pulled up yesterday by a journalist and said, can you tell us about the incident at the Shoalhaven Heads Hotel, Paul? He said, I don't know what you're talking about. And they said, well, we've got footage. And he went, oh, okay, no worries. Then he turned back and said, what are the witnesses saying that happened?
Awesome. What do you guys know?
So Paul Gow didn't throw a punch, but it was sort of like a melee. There was a bit of wrestling going on. They fell over a table, but I think he had a bit of blood on his face.
Yeah, when you see Tommy's holding the footage up now, it kind of goes from the pool table sort of into the beer garden, and there's a scuffle on the ground. You're right, there's a bit of claret on Gal when he gets up, so it looks like the other guy who I think's being dragged off him is a pretty big unit too.
What's a melee?
Melee is like just a fight between numerous people.
Oh, okay. I love those ones because it's almost like you see them on the footy field at the beginning of an Origin game every year. Yeah. And it's like a lot of argy-bargy, but no one really wanting to throw the first punch. It's like, I'm in, but I'm not in. Yeah. I'm going to pretend I'm involved.
I've got my chest up.
And it's just words like, is that the best you got, mate? Come on. We'll see how you go for the rest of the 90 minutes.
Your mum's your sister.
Okay, so here's you can hear his mate Mark Levy as well. He works on 2GB. He works in this building as well. You can hear him saying to Gow, stop. Here it is.
What? Hey, enough! What's enough? Stop it! Enough! Yeah, stop! Hey, enough! Stop! Get on! Bye!
It's a couple of broken glasses. You know the only thing that's missing from there?
$10 schnitzel night?
No, Rabs.
What that pressure! To the left and a right from Gallen, and they both landed flush. There was a little push and shove, and then Gallen has landed left, right.
You just need Rabs in there.
He did get there, did he, for the final rumble?
I mean, he's everywhere, wherever you need him. Do you think that there is an element of, I know you're saying that why would anyone take on Paul Gallen, but don't you think that a lot of men would be watching the footy or watching someone like Paul on the telly going, he's got nothing. I could go him.
You become a target.
Yeah.
This is what disappoints me, though, because if you've ever met Gow, he is a lovely man.
Very placid man.
He's a father of beautiful children, and it's like, why did these guys get in their mind going, I could be half a chance against him?
Happens to footballers all the time.
It's like, why? That's the reason why they don't go out when they retire from the game, it's like, well, they can't go out anymore because you get idiots just having
this is why they say Ben Cousins from the AFL ended up hanging out with the bikies, because he would go to a pub and everybody was at him. But if he went and stood in that crowd, no one would come at him.
He was a little fish.
He could find a little bit of comfort at the bar.
That is a great solution to the problem.
No,
so for any ex-footballer, go and hang out with bikies.
That's not what I'm saying. But
it'll end up well.
When he was at the bar standing next to those people, no one got in his face.
Yeah, so they're lovely people to hang out with.
Hire a bodyguard.
We need to hang out with bikies.
Yes.
That'll be me at the Nowra pub on the weekend.
If you're a bikie and you'd like Kate Ritchie to join your group this morning, you can win her for the week.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.